Hello, Torah community. It's from Natan here. Share with you some words of Torah. This week's Parsha, Chayei, Sara. One of the parts of the Parsha that takes up a lot of room and is something that bothers many of the Mefarshim is the story of Eliezer going to find a wife for Yitzchak. It's a simple story on the one hand, and yet what's interesting is that how many psukim it takes for the Torah to tell the story. The story itself is repeated many times. There's Abraham telling Eliezer what to do, then as Eliezer doing it, then as Eliezer telling Rivka's family about what happened, then there's also Eliezer asking Hashem for the sign and the sign happening. There's so many different repetitions of the same elements of the story over and over again. And when our sages asked this question, what is it that the Torah wanted us to think about when the Torah is repeating this over and over again, is making so many psukim, 60 plus psukim on this, says that when you have tzaddikim, you have holy people, righteous people, so even their minute conversations and their minute actions are a big deal, as ever it's worth this time and this energy. I wanted to share with you another idea, which I found to be very meaningful, which was that Rav Aaron Kotler says that reason why the Torah takes so much time to talk about this is because it's talking about midot. How Eliezer interacted with Rivka, how he interacted with her family, how Abraham is interacting with Eliezer, how he's going, how he's interacting with Hashem, the other people at the well. There's so many different parts of this that are teaching us midot and how to interact with others. And in many ways, if you're talking about a mitzvah, you're talking about a halacha, you can be concise. You can say, okay, just do this. This is what you do it. There isn't as much nuance necessarily. When interacting with human beings, when talking to other people, when talking about midot and how we are as a mentor, how we are interpersonally, it's way more complicated, it's way more nuanced. No situation is the exact same, no interaction is the exact same. What we should do and is kind in this moment might be a little bit different in another moment, and that's why it has to take so much psukim to describe this, because it's not simple when talking about how to interact with other people. Being a mensch and having good midot, having derech eretz is something that's nuanced and detailed, and every situation calls for something else. I think the message here is that when we interact with people, or we're thinking about how to show up vis-a-vis the people in our lives, it's important to be very, very thoughtful. Think, okay, how should I be right now when I'm talking to this person in shul? How should I be right now when I'm talking to my friend, a family member? Not just to go through life and our interpersonal interactions with just being how we are and however we are, that is, but to give it thought as to how we want to show up and how we want to be and what's going to be helpful for the other person as to how we show up. And so to really think about that and give that a tremendous amount of thought, because the Torah itself gives that so much thought, and so to our derech eretz and our midot, giving that thought before we show up when we're interacting with other people. I want to leave you guys with two questions for your Shabbat table. One is why do you think the Torah spends so much time talking about this story? The Parshim have many answers. What do you think? Another question to think about is, what is a moment where you had to be kind to someone else and it was difficult? What was a time where you had to be kind to someone else, but it was difficult for you? Everyone have a Shabbat Shalom.